Hello, beautiful people. I believe we are now live. Let me just move some things around on my desktop dashboard. If you could let me know where you are watching, meaning YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, that would be super helpful because I want to make sure that we are hitting all the places. Oh my gosh, look at the stripes on my legs and the stripes on my top. I hope that's not too like vibraty on the camera. And wow, I'm like wrinkledy. What the heck? It's like I've just been away on a private island for freaking 10 days and all my stuff has been packed and things. So hello, good to see you, Razzler, RASRL, Razzle, not sure. But thank you for reporting in from the Periscope Twitter interface. Carry on. Hello. Good to see you from Facebook. Hello. Awesome. Let's see if we've got anybody reporting in from YouTube, and then we will get going. Hello, Caroline. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining in. And Andrew is over at Facebook as well. Good to know. Okay, well, hopefully YouTube is around. We will find out soon enough, either with a comment or absence of comment. But hi, I'm back. I have been, oh my gosh, on a private island, which is crazy, with Liz Gilbert and a few dozen amazing women from all over the world. Hello, it's good to see you, Queen. Hello. Kwanye, I think we've talked about this. I think I tried to remember how to say your name. Kwanye. Not quite sure. Good to see you. Thank you for the welcome back, Deanna. This has been a surreal experience. Like getting this opportunity to immerse myself so deeply in this writing retreat and just enriching retreat. This, my God, like just such I don't know how to describe it. Like it doesn't have words that really make it clear what it was that was happening at so many different levels. Hello, Valeria. Good to see you. Hi, AJ. Hi, Erin. Hi, Janet. Hello, Tanya. Good to see you, sweetheart. It is, however, a life of takeaways from the Liz Gilbert experience. Liz Gilbert is the author of Eat, Pray, Love and Big Magic and City of Girls and a bunch of other stuff. She is a prolific writer, and I've written the last 2 Bond blasts about things that I've learned from her specifically, and there's so much more. Like I honestly could do the next 5 Bond blasts easily about things that we did as a part of these workshops, this series of days of just immersion with her. And these are called creativity workshops. She actually said during the keynote, which was the first night that we worked with her, she actually said, tomorrow we get to do my very favorite thing in the world. And I only do it 4 times a year. And it's her creativity workshop. And I see why it's her favorite thing in the world. It has so much joy strung through it. There were so many aha moments on behalf of so many people. I did not have huge, massive, like, oh my God, my life is forever changed breakthroughs in this experience. What I got from it was confirmation that everything we're teaching in Enoughness, everything that we're doing as a part of self-management for actors, especially in the mindset part of things, is absolutely the right work for the highest tier achievements possible. And that confirmation was so incredibly awesome because my enoughness is high enough that I don't need validation in order to feel like I'm allowed to teach what I teach or do what I do, because I'm living into it. And I have, thousands of clients who've shown me through their experiences that this work absolutely makes a difference in how castable you are, how magnetic you are, how professional you're perceived to be when you're on set or in meetings or just in your life, in your personal life, the way that you connect to other humans as a creative storyteller. getting that enoughness in a higher place just creates so much more peace and ease and joy in your day-to-day life. It's not that I need validation of that. I have enough experience with it to know that it works, but this was confirmation that it works all the way to the highest levels of achievement in not just the acting profession, where I have clients who have proven it's true. I have clients with Emmys and Oscars and Golden Globes and SAG Awards and all the things, Grammys. Oh my God, that's right. I have, do I have Tony winning clients? I don't know that I have Tony winning clients yet. We need to collect a Tony winning client, or if one of you already has a Tony, you need to let me know about it so that I know that we got them all. Y'all, I love knowing that this also works for people who write for a living, write books. Like Liz is a prolific writer. She is a famous author, New York Times bestseller many times over. And this work is a part of her life every single day. And so I honestly could teach a thing from this 1 week long, 10 days off the grid experience that I just returned home from. I could write for months on each of the little things that we got out of it. And I think that my work will always have some of this infused in it, because there were some really big takeaways, but I didn't have those big, like, oh my God, I'm going home and like divorcing my husband kind of moments, which there were definitely people at the retreat who by the time it was over realized, oh my God, my most poison playmate, my biggest detractor, my biggest source of stress about the lifestyle I've chosen and the things that are important to me is the person I share a bed with, and that's going to have to change. Like there were some big aha moments about where we keep resistance around us and who we keep in our life because it helps us feel safe, and ultimately it makes us play small because we're making choices that are based off that other person rather than what we actually want. And so there were a series of lists that we wrote. There were a series of letters that we wrote. Of course, you know, if you're in my 100-day membership, Getting Gear, I have y'all write letters. Like it's a part of our curriculum to write letters to yourself and have parts of yourself write letters back to you. And this is something that Liz does every freaking day. And I'm not kidding. When I say she does it every freaking day, she starts her morning every single day writing a series of letters from parts of her brain to other parts of her brain and back. And I'm like, we do this. Oh my God, I do this as a part of my healing process, and we do this as a part of Getting Gear. And oh my God, Liz Gilbert does it every freaking day. And I'm like, yes, so very, very cool. Thank you, Tracy Twinkie Bird. We have a celebrity in the house. You know I love it when my pole baby comes and joins me. And of course, brilliant casting director / author / speaker / teacher. Oh, Twinkie, I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for bringing all your fan base over to be a part of these creativity chats. So let's break this down. In the Bond Blast from yesterday, if you're not getting Bond Blasts, go here and put your name on the list. You will be able to see on that page, there is a thing you can like pop your email address in, ding, ding, and get yourself Bond Blasts, because you don't want to miss the Bond Blasts. All right. Every week I'm in your inbox. I got inspiring stuff. I got motivational things, not so much. You gotta bring your own motivation, but I definitely have some inspiring crap that I put in your inbox, and I keep it real. I break it down. All the myths get busted, and a lot of mindset work, of course, and all the self-management for actors goodies every week. So subscribe right there. And then, of course, feel free to join me anytime I'm doing a live stream like I am right now. So let's break this down. As I said in the Bond Blast, which, if you're watching this in replay, put #replay in the comments at the Facebook version. And if you are watching at YouTube or Twitter, Periscope replay, then come over to the Facebook version to be able to participate in the comments. And Luciana, I'm so glad that you came back to Facebook for me. I'm glad that this was worth coming back to Facebook. I know I have a very stripped down Facebook account myself because there's a lot about Facebook I ain't crazy about. Sorry about it. Not sorry about it, but I totally understand that there are good reasons to stick around or come back, and I appreciate that I'm one of those for you. So thank you for joining in. Let's get to this. In yesterday's Bond Blast, I have notes because I didn't want to miss a thing on my Plantation Island resort notepad. I didn't want to miss any of this. I took an empty journal with me to the island and filled up almost half of it while there. That I could not stop writing. I wrote so many notes, like even during dinner, like hanging out with new people and making friends and connecting with folks and just going, oh my God, I'm just getting so much out of this connection. I love, love, love being able to keep notes of all of that so that I can remind myself what the lessons were. So I have lots of notes, and I distilled just what I wanted to talk about today on this one sheet so that I could stay focused. So as I mentioned in the Bond Blast, Liz, and I'll just keep calling her Liz, my good friend Liz Gilbert, says specifically that what she wants in life is to see a revolution of relaxed women. Now, I adjust this to say creatives filled with enoughness, but we're saying the same thing. Because as I listened to Liz talk about what a relaxed revolution would look like, I'm like, she's describing enoughness. She's describing that unfuckwithable enoughness that comes from, I know I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay no matter what. There's not any state outside of me that can infect or affect what's happening within me, because this is the only place that I can control. That is enoughness. Knowing that get the role, don't get the role, I am enough. Fall in love, don't fall in love, get my heart broken, stay blissfully connected my whole life, I am enough. Yeah, it's faith. It's faith, but it's also a resting state of knowing that within I've got everything I need. So whereas a lot of people put faith as something outside themselves, and that's fine because that's a part of this, it is this resting state of, I'm fine. And the way Liz talked about it was, everything's going to be all right. Same thing. I'm like, she is teaching enoughness. She's calling it being relaxed, but she is teaching enoughness. So as I mentioned in the Bond Blast, there are 3 components to this relaxed revolution that Liz Gilbert walked us through. Now, she wants specifically women to become relaxed, because to be female is to be anxious, according to Liz. To be female is to be anxious. I agree, but I also have worked with enough creatives who are not identifying as female to know that creatives are anxious. Creatives are anxious, and it is not gender specific. Because if we are empathic enough to really feel for other people's emotions and really feel connected to what other people are going through, to the point that we want to tell stories about their lives and about things that happened in the past and about things that may happen in the future, and we want to be the voice to those stories, it comes from a place of deep sensitivity. And that sensitivity means we are finally wired. We are tuned in a way that we feel all the things. And that means we're walking around anxious all the time. So the way Liz talked about it specifically is that to be female is to be anxious that we are prey, that something's wrong with our bodies, that something's wrong with our behavior. Those were the 3 things that she said mainly make up our anxiety. Further, if we're not anxious about ourselves in any of those ways, we're anxious about everybody else because we have empathy for everyone else. It's how we're wired. There, just from an evolutionary standpoint, is a way that the female brain, the creative brain, is wired, that is about bringing communities together and healing people who are in pain. And that means we have to sense that they are in pain, because they're not going to speak up and say, I'm in pain, help me. Not often. So we have to be tuned into, you have a feeling that is hard and I can help you. I can soothe you. I can tell a story that might make things better. So to be female, according to Liz, to me, to be creative, to be a creative, is to be walking around with a backpack of stress, load of anxiety. And so what Liz is hoping for is a revolution of relaxation, because the most relaxed person in the room has the most power. From an evolutionary perspective, the most relaxed animal in the pack is the one in charge of what's about to happen. Because if you think of the pack hanging out together, the most relaxed, she specifically talked about horses. She was like, the most relaxed horse is the one in charge. It's not the stallion that's coming in all like, what do I have to do and what do I need to mount? Like, its job is completely different. That female that is like, I'm just checking it all out. I'm taking it all in. I see where the dangers are and I see where the escape routes are. I've got this. I know how to get us out of this situation. Comes from being relaxed enough to have the full field of vision. We lose the full field of vision the more anxious we are. The more anxiety we carry around, the more narrow our focus. The more anxious we are, the less we can see, which is why we can't come up with a solution when we're in high states of anxiety. Because when we're in high states of anxiety, our vision narrows. Like biologically, our vision narrows. So we can't see all the different ways out because of our anxiety, which then, of course, feeds into more anxiety. Because we're more anxious, because we don't see a solution. We don't see a solution, so we're more anxious. We're more anxious, so we don't see a solution. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So here's how we fix this. According to my good friend Liz Gilbert, here is how we fix this. There are 3 components to relaxing. Write these down. Ready? Get a pen. Write these down. Good. I'm glad you're loving it, Michael. I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you, Caroline. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Here are the 3 components to being relaxed, according to Liz Gilbert. And then I'll expand on each of them. Priorities, boundaries, and mysticism. Okie doke? All right. First thing I want to say, Liz said, a relaxed state has to have no connection to what it appears is real. So again, that's that internal enoughness. You cannot be reactive to what is going on outside of you if you are going to be in a relaxed state. To be relaxed is to not be reactive to what is going on outside of you. And she specifically said how it appears things are happening outside of you. Because we don't have a relationship with anything. We don't have an experience of anything outside of our relationship with it. It is our relationship that interprets what is happening and adds meaning to it. So from that perspective, the 3 elements of relaxing: priorities, boundaries, mysticism. So here we go. Priorities. According to Liz and her research and her experience, and I like her number. I at first went, I don't know about that number, but I like her number. We cannot care about more than 5 things without getting anxious. So priorities means pick the 5 things you're going to care about and make them really good things, because you cannot care about more than 5 things or else you'll become anxious. Because just caring about more than 5 things gives you anxiety about how you are reducing the level of care and attention you can give any of the things because you went outside that 5. She said a fantastic line while she was teaching us in the second day of workshops. She said, I love you all. I do not care about any of you. And I was like, whoa, yes, yes. God, that explains how I feel. I love everyone. I make everyone feel as though they are my favorite, because you are. I adore everyone that I meet until there's a reason not to adore them. I give people a lot of chance to be assholes and prove that they actually don't deserve any adoration from me. I come in loving on you. It takes a lot to get me to turn off the love switch. I'm just a love bug that way. But caring about someone needs to be reserved for that inner circle of 5. And it can be 5 people or 5 things, or 5 items is what she said. 5 items, which means it's a combination of things and people, but it's 5. Because more than that, you start diminishing how you are able to care for any of those. And that creates anxiety. Okay? Oh, also on this one, she said there's nothing real about having no time. There's no such thing as having no time. Because what you actually have, if you run around saying, I have no time, I have no time, I have no time, what you actually have are fucked priorities. And thank you for sharing this with your followers. I'm seeing the numbers going up and people bringing people in. I appreciate that. Again, if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, and I will come back around to the comments on Facebook. Okay? So, you have no problem with time. You have problem with priorities. And if you are good at only caring for those 5 things, items, people, whatever, those 5 blocks, you do a much better job with your time management because you base it around the things you care about, not all the things that you love. The things you love, you'll build time for at some point, but the things that you care about have to get on the calendar first. I love that. The second item, remember, boundaries. So the 3 components to relaxing: priorities, boundaries, mysticism. We're on number 2, boundaries. According to Liz Gilbert, we go to Joseph Campbell's Sacred Circle. If you don't know Joseph Campbell, look him up, read his stuff. We go right into that sacred circle. And the idea behind Joseph Campbell's Sacred Circle is you put yourself in the center, you put everything you care about around you in the circle, like you draw that line around yourself in the center, and that sacred circle says, everything inside this circle, of which I am the center, is sacred. And if I let you into my circle, you must respect that the center of this circle is sacred. Got to breathe on that. I got to breathe on that. She said, until you know that you are sacred, you will continue to allow and excuse bad behavior on the part of people around you. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm so glad you're here, sweetheart. Love you. Love you. Love you. Yeah? How's this hitting? Giving you a little moment of, whoo, yeah. Yeah. Let's go to the third. So, according to Liz Gilbert, the 3 elements to relaxation, aka Liz Gilbert's version of enoughness: priorities, boundaries, mysticism. So we're on number 3, mysticism. This is magic, grace, creation itself. We know that when we are in the flow, when we are absolutely in that place of, I can create forever and I feel as if something is coursing through me that allows me to connect with what I'm here to do as an artist, as a creative. We know that it's something bigger than just us sitting here. That being plugged in and having the muse show up and flood ideas through us and get us in that place of creation where we lose even connection with here and now. It just happens. We know there's something mystical to that. So whatever it is that you need to label it, faith, whatever it is that is your buy-in, it is some form of mysticism, some form of there's something more than just me here, ego. There's something bigger than just me here, ego. So those are the 3 elements to relaxation. And Liz works on them every day. She does homework for her enoughness muscle every single day. Priorities, boundaries, mysticism. Right? I know, Tony, isn't it amazing? Right? Malcolm, yes. Yes. Elizabeth, Janet, yes, yes. I know, like that was a biggie. That was a biggie. Yes, Jay, exactly. Exactly. It does. It makes us not just invincible, like I call it unfuckwithable enoughness. Like once you are at that state of resting okayness, anything else can happen. Anything else can happen. And we're going to be fine. It's just phenomenal. It feels so good. And here's the why on doing this today and having this conversation on March 4th, which is one of my favorite days of the year because it is the day that is a sentence. It's the only day in the calendar that is a sentence. March 4th. It is a command. It is get out there and make shit happen from a place of high enoughness. You are more castable when your enoughness is in place, when your state of relaxation is high. You are absolutely more magnetic, easier to cast, perceived as more professional. You are more fun to be around because you give the gift of ease to everyone who comes into your circle. Everyone who comes around you feels at ease because you're not bringing any anxiety into the world. You're not adding to the anxiety that every freaking creative is already feeling by default. Every freaking creative is walking around feeling anxiety. And when you walk into the room and don't contribute to the anxiety and don't have your own anxiety that even if you could keep it from contributing to somebody else's anxiety, still feels like anxious energy that someone else may have enough empathy that they want to settle down. Think of how freeing that energy is when you walk into the room. You grant everyone in the room the opportunity to exhale in a way that every other person who's gotten in front of them that day has not. And that exhale that makes other people feel comfortable and get closer to their own enoughness is magnetic as fuck. People love being around you if you can make them feel at ease. Great. Thank you. I'm glad you are appreciating what I am saying. Hashtag living in the leap over at Periscope. Kate, it is absolutely my pleasure. Right, Michael? Isn't that an awesome perspective? Malcolm says, yes, like you said, know who you are, know who you are and accept your concept, high self-esteem, low ego. Yes. Yes. My husband taught me that. He's like, you have to have high self-esteem, low ego, because your self-esteem has to be high enough to know that you're pretty freaking special. Like you do have that resting state of, I belong here. That comes from high self-esteem. No imposter syndrome, no like, I hope they don't catch me. I don't actually belong here. But like, no. I definitely belong in every room that I walk into because I bring my enoughness with me. But low ego, because ego is, don't you know who I am, and chest pumping, and it comes from an outer puffing up rather than an inner stillness, relaxation. Yeah, right on. Right on. Yes. Oh my gosh. Daniel Schwab's Periscopes. My God. 2015 was so much fun for Periscoping and blabbing. Oh, I miss those days. That was fun. That was a fun era in the tech development there. Okay. 2 more things from Liz Gilbert, and then I'll take your questions. So if you want to type any questions that you have into the comment box now, I will be able to scroll through and look at them a little more fully after I cover these last 2 bits from my buddy, Liz Gilbert. Okay. The first one is any question that begins with why is a direct path to suffering. I love that so much because at the beginning of the year, 2 weeks before the beginning of the year, just before Christmas, 2019, I decided to no longer use the word because in my emails or my Slack messages to my team. Meaning, I would do things like say, I need someone to XYZ customer service situation, blah, 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 because, and then I would spell out why I needed something to happen. And in mid-December, while things were super, super crazy busy because we were inviting people into our 100-day membership, which we otherwise keep closed except for very specific instances when we will open it up and allow people to come in and join. And let me give you the place to go to get on the waiting list. If you want to join us the next time we open up our membership, where we have these kinds of conversations daily for 100 days and then ongoing after that in the membership, go there, put your name on the waiting list, and then we will notify you the next time that we open for registration. But in December, we were at a peak of so much stuff going on because we were welcoming in new members and doing advertising, and we were getting a lot of stuff happening all at once. I said, I don't have time to explain the why behind what I need. So I'm going to stop using the word because it's not serving me to explain the why. And so when Liz said any question that begins with why is a direct path to suffering, I went, dang. That is amazing that we're freeing people up from that anxiety-producing conversation, that suffering, when we stay out of the why business. Because what does it matter? What does the why matter? If our resting state of enoughness is high and we get told no, we go, all right, move on. On to the next. Why do we need a why? That is a rhetorical question. Okay, so there, yeah, go there if you want on our waiting list for the next time that we open our 100-day challenge and membership for getting gear for the next tier. Go there and put your information in there, and we will let you know as soon as we open enrollment, which might not be too long a wait. We were going to wait until December again to do another live round, but we may do something like for my birthday this summer. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned, but you'll be on the list and you'll hear from us about that. So again, if you've got any questions, I have one more thing I want to share from my time with Liz Gilbert. I have so many things I want to share from my time with Liz Gilbert, and I will continue to share about it in the Bond Blasts. But on this broadcast, I have one more thing to share. Put your questions in and I will come back through and look at them. The word worry. So anxiety obviously has a lot to do with worry. The word worry comes from Wieren or Wierian, depending on where you are or were when this word came to be in 1300. Okay? 1300. The word meant to rail, to struggle, to slay, to drag an animal to slaughter, to strangle, to choke the life breath out of, is what the word worry first was. It wasn't until 1860 that the word officially in the dictionary became to feel anxiety. Until 1860, to worry meant to strangle the life breath out of. To drag an animal to slaughter. So when you worry, you are dragging your dreams to slaughter. You are slaying your enoughness. You are choking the life out of the creative spirit. Yeah, right, Michael? Right. So the next time you worry, the next time you start in on the anxiety that is natural to all creatives, that is comfortable to so many of us, because it is a state that we've been in so much, we've practiced it so many times, that we actually start to feel uncomfortable when we relax. It's why meditation is so hard. It's why sleeping is a challenge for so many creatives. It's why drugging and drinking and escaping is such a big habit of creatives, because we cannot turn off the anxiety without something that helps turn off that part of the brain chemically. When I stopped drinking in 2016, I gave up my most valuable means of turning off the anxiety loop in my brain. And I had to learn new methods for turning off the anxiety loop in my brain. This is part of what we teach in the 100 days. No, I don't ask you to get sober during the 100 days. I honestly do not care if you do that or don't do that. What I want is what's best for you. And if you decide that you have some maladaptive ways of handling your stress, yes, I want you to get that in check, but that's going to look different for everybody. For some, it's staying in toxic relationships. For some, it's overeating. For some, it's just escaping through television or a great book, or scrolling endlessly through social media, or getting caught up in other people's drama. These are all things. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Use Liz Gilbert's 3 steps to relaxation and use them daily. So that means practice priorities. Get your priorities straight. Be very clear on what you care about and make it like 5 things. Because if it's not one of those 5 things, it's causing you anxiety just getting added to that list of, oh, also care about this. Also, and especially if you care about everybody else's nonsense, life's too short. Retire from that. Clock out of the job of caring about everybody else's shit. I don't mean be a dick to other people. I mean, you cannot carry the weight of other people's stuff. You just can't, no matter how much you love them. You just can't. You can't. And you know this. You know this. Second, boundaries. Sacred circle, Joseph Campbell style. Put yourself at the center, draw a circle around you and everything that you care about, 5 things, in this circle with you. And anyone that you invite into the sacred circle must agree that the center of that circle is to be respected, because it is sacred. And then number 3 on the list is mysticism, which is practice and awareness that for you to be plugged in to your greatest good, you are not alone. There is something that we cannot see. There is a force that helps us create, that helps us live, that is nothing short of a miracle. Those are the 3 steps. Can you promise me you will practice being relaxed? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you're watching in replay, put #replay. And if you're watching in replay somewhere other than Facebook, come over to Facebook to join in the comments, because they will remain open there. All right, let me scroll to see. Okay, Sarah has asked a question. Yes, Sarah, you say I have experience, but let me know in the comments what level of experience you have, so that I can be helpful with this question, because it's a little too general right now. Kimberly says my 2-year-old self is freaking out. Why? But why? But why? I know every questioner, Gretchen Rubin, 4 tendencies. Every questioner is like, no, I cannot retire from using the word why. And I'm like, I know, but just know that the word why is the gateway to suffering. Like, just be really sure that you have to know why. Because maybe you don't. Maybe it doesn't matter why. Maybe it just is. Maybe it just is. Yeah, I know, Michael, right? That worry root. Laura, share it with your mom. Is she on social? Can you share this replay with her? Can you send her an email with a link to the YouTube version when it goes off live stream and into the archive at my YouTube page? Let's see. Budharaja, I've sent email and Insta messages about long-term private coaching. May I please? Budharaja, just email help@bonniegillespie.com. And I believe my team gave you the information on private coaching. I don't private coach unless you've done Getting Gear for the Next Tier anymore. I only coach people who are in the 100-day program. And I'm pretty sure your name looks familiar. I'm pretty sure that my team has answered at least one of your emails about how private coaching works. Okie doke. Kimberly, lately I've been feeling that a lot. I'm not stressed or worried about anything, which is unsettling. Yeah, Kimberly, if we are very practiced at worry, to not worry is disarming. Like it freaks a part of our brain out. It's like I said with my upper limit problems, Gay Hendricks upper limit problems, that happened at the end of 2017, where I was like, I'm the weight I've never even dreamed I could get to. I'm so fit. I'm working out like crazy and I feel so good in my body. And here I am in my late 40s. And my love life is fantastic. And I have more money in the bank than I've ever had. My clients are having more success than they've ever had. Everything is working. What the fuck is about to come happen and take it all away? I had to create anxiety because everything was taken care of. And there's nothing scarier than I'm safe. Like, ironically, that everything is okay and I am well and all is right in the world is the most unsafe I can possibly feel. So yeah, but it's the way that you can't just quit a bad behavior, bad, however you've labeled it. You have to find a replacement behavior because that's the way the brain works. We can't just stop a thing. We have to replace it with a healthier habit. So same with anxiety and worry. If we've got a very strong muscle for worrying and for feeling anxiety, we actually have to find a replacement activity for that. Yes. Joseph Campbell is amazing, Jay. True. Care and carry that for them. Yep. Kimberly, that was intentional. I'm glad you caught that. Good. You will practice, says Malcolm. Lisa, I will practice. Good. Kate says, yes, I can promise this practice to be relaxed. Awesome. Thank you. Jay says, yes, thanks for sharing about tapping. So helpful for relaxation. I agree. And y'all, if you are not down with Dana Middleton, one of my very best friends, she has a Facebook group called The Aligned Artist. Make sure you look for it. She's doing a Monday tapping every Monday morning to help everyone get into a better place of relaxation and ease. And if you're not familiar with tapping EFT, highly recommend it. It's a really great pattern interrupter for some of the actual nervous system things that are happening. Fabulous. Okay, Kate, good. Reframe your why. Why do you need to know why? Why do you need to know why? Again, rhetorical question. Why do you need to know why? Ask yourself that. Malcolm, I am not casting anything right now. The last thing I cast won me an Emmy, and that was for Artificial for Bernie Sue. So that was pretty awesome, but that was last year. Yeah, I haven't been casting anything yet in 2020 because I've been in Fiji. And so all of January and the first week of February was about getting me to Fiji and getting me to a place where I could be off the grid for 10 days and trust that my business was being run by my team, which of course is phenomenal. I love these human beings. And I also hired a new business manager to take over a lot of the daily operations of my business. And so coming back, I have a whole new relationship with my business and I'm doing less in it, which is awesome. Liana says, you said that Liz practices this 3 items every day. Did she share any specifics on what exercises she uses to enrich mysticism? Liana, thank you for asking. Let me see specifically from my journal what she said when she was covering the mysticism part of things. Okie dokie. She talked about Richard from Texas a lot, which if you know Eat, Pray, Love, that's someone that she said was really great at practicing mysticism because he would specifically say things like, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. So go back and read about him in Eat, Pray, Love if it's been a while since you've read that. She also talked about if you only base your reactions off what you think you're seeing, you're fucked. You have to believe there's a greater force at work. I didn't take as many notes during this portion because she shared some really personal stuff about her partner's death back last year and how she surrendered to the mysticism within that experience. But as far as I think without getting too personal and stuff that she shared with us, then I would say practice surrender. And if surrender is something that is challenging for you, I know that's been really challenging for me, pick up Gabby Bernstein's book, Judgment Detox. That helped me a lot with forgiveness, for one, and lack of judgment for another, and surrender, which is a component of all of that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I can say specifically about what her practices are for believing in mysticism. It's a deep surrender. It's a observing things that exist in the world that you did nothing to create, and trusting there has to be a force greater than me, or else all these miracles that I witness every day wouldn't exist. So why am I worried so much about all the things that I'm in control of? Because look at all the things that the universe creates, that source creates, that God creates, depending on what your beliefs are, that are created by nature. Like how can I look at those things and have the hubris to believe that I have to stay in control of all things at all times? I believe that is a good way to summarize that. Thank you for asking, Liana. Deanna says, I'm realizing the why right now. Simple but amazing. Releasing the why. Releasing the why right now. Simple but amazing. Deanna, good. Let me know how that practice goes for you, because it's a practice. It is a practice. It is a practice. A practice, a practice. Yes, Malcolm, Law of Attraction and I are good buddies. I use the teachings of Abraham Hicks every day. That's part of my mysticism practice. I listen to Abraham Hicks MP3s every day. Every day, every day. And in fact, they just sent me an email today that said, oh, we're sorry you had a problem with your order, which I didn't. A credit card number of ours got compromised and was being used for auto parts in Florida to the tune of like $4,000 or something. And so we had to change a credit card number. And so the Abraham Hicks people, where I subscribe to the MP3s every month, sent me an email saying, we're sorry that there was a problem with your subscription. Here's a free zip file of our latest subscription item. And if you would like, I believe I had already purchased that one. So I have a file that I can give away, because they sent it to me and said, enjoy. And I already bought it. So I am not going to open it, but that means I can forward it to one person who can then open it. So if you are an Abraham Hicks person, put some info in the chat here about wanting that, and then I will get it to you, because I think that's a nice little give, isn't it? And isn't that the law of attraction at work? Maybe Malcolm, I'll even give it to you if that is something that you would like, since you asked about law of attraction. Yes, there is so much richness in all of this, Janet. Good, thank you for being here. Lily says, when we pick our 5 priorities, how broad should they be? Is it as big as my creative career, or slightly smaller like writing, or really small like finish this one script? I like these questions, Lily. This is definitely macro versus micro, and so I would recommend that you go with macro, because then if there are sub items that fit under that macro, So for me, if I have to list off 5 things I care about, it's, my health, my relationship with my husband, my business and being in service of y'all and what you need, that's the big 3 right there. And there's a lot that fits under that without me getting into the micro of my business. Because if I get into the micro of my business, or into the micro of y'all as a vastly different individual collective of this population, then it gets a little too granular to deal with. That's what I would recommend, Lily. Good. Ryan, I'm so glad tapping has helped you a lot. It's helped me too. It's helped me. One-time payment or monthly subscription. Budaraja, it is either. We had the 100-day course has 2 options. One is lifer. If you're someone who's like, yes, this is a gym that I know I want to work out in forever, you can just pay a one-time payment and be done. Or you can split that over 3 months if it's like the one chunk is too big. We can split it out over 3 months, and it just makes it slightly higher for the admin cost of doing multiple payments. Or if you're like, I don't know if I want to go lifer, then it's a smaller entry fee, and then you start paying monthly on day 121 of your membership. So you have 120 days to get through the 100-day membership. And then on day 121, if you're like, yes, I'm still enjoying this, I want to stay, it's $30 a month, and you just cancel when you're feeling done. In fact, let me give you a link. I don't know if this link will work for everybody, but I'm going to put it here. So don't kill me, team. Our ads rep, someone that I've hired to help me care about fewer things in my business. Our genius ads guru created a way for people to get an offer to join the 100 days outside of the launch periods, and to do so at 2019 pricing. So I put this in here for a very specific webinar that I was doing, but if you go here, don't go here unless you're planning to do it, because it will create a ticking clock that then will expire. And when it expires, the price goes up by $500. So if you're ready, go here. And then that'll get you into the 100-day program, even without us being in the middle of a launch for a live round. And you can still join us on all the live Zooms that we do regularly for the existing membership. And then that will put you in the queue for private coaching. And you also get a discount on coaching with me. You get a discount on coaching with me once you're in the program. So good for you on that. Awesome. An Enoughness Bank making daily deposits. Jay, I love that. That's beautiful. Lucia, you're welcome. Absolutely my pleasure. Andrew says, 5 things to focus on. Does that apply to the Hollywood self-help for actors industry as well? Give me more information, Andrew. Give me more information. Are you asking me what you need to focus on within and with self-help for actors? Do you mean self-management for actors, my book and my teachings? I'm not exactly sure if you're asking about what people who do these types of services need to focus on, what you need to focus on. Give me a more specific question, please. Okay, awesome. You're listening to Ask and It'll Be Given. Well, Malcolm, Ask and It is given. Give your email address to my team at help@bonniegillespie.com, and I will get you that zip file that they sent me today. Because I wrote them back and said, hey, we actually fixed my credit card, and I actually went and just bought this one because I thought I couldn't get it because it missed on the day that it was supposed to come through. So I'm cool to gift this. And I hate to say that, to give this. And they said yes. Yes, absolutely. Surrender is a steep learning for me too, Liana. It's especially if you are a perfectionist, control freak, easily overwhelmed, love to got the OCD, love to have your talons in all things. Like that surrender feels like releasing a lot of control. But I'm going to tell you, it creates a place in your brain that has so much more room to be creative and to get good rest and to be more fully present for the miracles that are happening in your life at all times. Yep. How about it? Oh, I got you into Abraham Hicks. Laura, that makes me so happy. Awesome. Thank you, Emily. Awesome. Great. I'm so glad. Yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. Carry on. I find myself feeling low enoughness. And let me take this off the screen. Because that's it. All right, got it. Carry on. Find myself feeling low enoughness in a certain situation or circumstance. All I seem to be able to do is try to kid myself out of it. Like, no, come on, you're good. Relax. Sometimes that works, but if I find myself in the same situation or circumstance again, I feel I haven't made any progress and I have to kid myself again. Is there anything I can do? Previous bond blasts I can read that help you move past this stage. Carry on. Here's the work of that. It isn't sticking because you're less practiced at it. So here's where I have a parallel in my life that I'll share with you, and then we'll pull this together for ending at the top of the hour. So any last questions, this is the last call for questions, put them in the chat now, and this will be the last chance. Yeah, Malcolm, did you get that email? help@bonniegillespie.com. Just shoot an email there and say, I'm the one who won the Abraham Hicks download, and my team will get it to you. Okay, so the way that I'm giving the parallel from my life so that you can see how this plays out. What I have been writing for actors. I have been providing actors with self-management for actors style teachings, mindset, the structure of business, the pragmatic creative stuff, yes, and also the woo. So all of that blending together since 1999. I have a very strong muscle for doing this work. You could wake me up from a dead sleep and go, tell me how to target my hell yes rep. And I could just wake up from a dead sleep and start telling you the agent targeting process from self-management for actors because I'm so practiced at this work. I am writing right now my first ever book that is not self-management for actors or casting cues or acting cues related. That is not the thing that I am most practiced at. I have low enoughness when it comes to this new book. And I am so prolific that I can churn out a book in 6 weeks and have published multiple titles over the course of nearly 20 years. Let's see, the first book came out in 2002. My first book was in 2002. The first Self-Management for Actors was 2003. but my book before that came out in 2002. So I have 18 years of experience publishing my book, my work as a book, as multiple books. Yet I have low enoughness around this one because it's not exactly the same. I borrow from the high enoughness I have for my niche. I borrow from that high enoughness and lend it to my present state about this issue, knowing that future me has equally high enoughness for this new territory, but current me doesn't yet have it. So I borrow from present me who has high enoughness in a different area and know that it'll get paid back by future me. So it's a little bit of a mind trick, but it is a strengthening of a muscle overall. Your work is to strengthen that muscle. And so this is where that fake it till you make it is kind of the wrong phrase. It's more live as if. And practicing living as if allows it to feel real when it actually is. Because we are getting opportunities for this more practiced way of thinking about ourselves to be real. And as we continue to practice and practice and practice that and lay the groundwork for it, there is a moment where it's real. It's just like working out. You're like, oh, I can't do this. It's like, at least have proper form. Oh, I can't lift this much weight. Great. Do it with smaller weights, but at least have perfect form. Oh, but I can't. My goal is to do this bigger weight and I'm doing this really small one. It doesn't matter. Keep doing it, but keep the form perfect. The form has to be correct. That's the mindset work. So keeping the form perfect means that when you are strong enough, you can lift the heavier weight and you are doing it legitimately because you practiced on the smaller weights. So that's how. Hope that metaphor works for you. Emily says surrender and boundaries are challenging to create simultaneously because it's equal building and tearing down. It's not at all. Emily, the idea of boundaries is this is my sacred circle and anything in here must be respected. You're welcome to come in, but with these ground rules. Surrender is non-attachment to outcome, non-attachment to what people think of you, non-attachment to things that you can't control anyway. They're not at all problematic to do simultaneously because there's nothing that's building or tearing down about that relationship. I think you're lumping. Go back to day 37, I believe, lumping and splitting. You need to split that one. It's not a lumper. That one's not a lumper. Yes, live as if. Carry on, you got it. Yeah, isn't it, Laura? I know. Yeah, exactly, from your enoughness account. Right. Borrow from that enoughness account, move some funds around. Totally doable. Yeah, you're absolutely my pleasure. I'm glad I can help you reframe. Emily, I'm going to tell you, we'll end on this. This is what was so fun for me. There was so much that was so fun for me. You guys, seriously, such a great investment. So glad I took that time away. So glad I had that time on the island and with Liz and with these amazing women that I connected with. For sure. One of my favorite moments was during one of the lunches. We're having a conversation, chat, and someone's complaining about something, which, you get 100 people on an island and, a lot of us very creative. By a few days in, there are people who are complaining about things. So there was a woman who was complaining about something, and I went, oh, but think about how, and I listed off something that was fantastic about the thing that she was complaining about. And she went, I love that you can reframe anything. I never would have thought of it that way, and you've just given me a new way to come at this. And another woman at the table who's doctor up in the Pacific Northwest, psychiatrist. I think she's psychiatrist, maybe psychologist. But anyway, she's a shrink up in the Pacific Northwest. She said, that is how I would describe you, Bonnie. You can reframe anything. And I went, I will take that description. If I can reframe anything into a positive, that means my muscle for finding the best feeling disposition about any shitty situation is so strong that it's become my identity. Because habit becomes identity. If you want to be healthier, you have healthier habits, then you will become healthier. You want to be wealthier, then have wealthy habits. The wealth will come. Awesome. Good. I'm glad I could share my superpower with you, Emily. I'm proud of you. Awesome. All right, you beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching in replay, again, hashtag replay over in the Facebook comments, and I will circle back around and answer you some more. My next live stream, dun, da, 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 is going to be on April 2nd. That's a Thursday at noon Pacific. Go ahead and put that on your calendar. All right, April 2nd, 12 p.m. Pacific. I will add the topic of conversation to the calendar at my website. If you go to bonniegillespie.com/events, you will always see what's programmed, what's on the calendar, what's coming up, what you can get in on and be a part of. But I'll also talk about it in that week's Bond Blast. So make sure you're signed up for Bond Blast. Everything you need is right over here. Love you, beautiful people. Love you, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a blast to spend this time with y'all. Thank you, thank you. And until next time, stay ninja. Bye.